why am I in a BDSM relationship anyway? It's a good question, and I had to think about this. There's a few reasons. First of all, it's a lot of fun. I never thought that I could have so much fun. I thought I had a pretty good sex life, but the whole world opened up when I started to explore BDSM, and especially the part of submitting to somebody and the power exchange dynamic, what it brings me, what it brings our relationship, and not just in the bedroom. It's deepened our relationship so much. So, but fun for sure. Just I was about to talk about fun, and it's not my main thing, but this is definitely one of the reasons that I love BDSM. Is the playfulness in it, and that has not so much to do with the DS dynamic. It's about kink, about tying each other, playing with pain and pleasure, really starting to explore my own body. I had no clue what it was able to do, and I also had no clue about how much I could enjoy it. I mean, one of the things that I found out is I thought that like pretty much every woman, I thought that like I can orgasm like once, and then I have to wait for at least 50 minutes. And then I can maybe start warming up again and orgasm again. And that's probably it. Maybe I can do a third time. And if I'm in a really good mood, I can do 4. Now, I can do 40 orgasms in an hour or so. If I'm in the right space and warmed up and we're in a good play and stuff. It's something that I had to work on, and I had to figure that out. And and I'm not saying it's for everyone. I'm just saying that if you never started to explore, you have no idea on what your body is capable of. So one of the reasons that I love about BDSM is that I'm all the time exploring my boundaries and crossing them. And that's one thing that I love. I love it that I get challenged all the time. It's not just challenging me on physical level or on sexual level. It's challenging me, and that's about the DS dynamic. It's challenging me on focus. It's challenging me on persistence. It's challenging me on obedience. It's challenging me on being able to follow a routine every single day. There are so many things that I'm challenging on, and things that I'm not so good at. I'm working on it in the most fun way possible. Another thing, personal development is very important to me. And I told you now that all these things that I'm working on, doing this via sex, it's just the most fun way possible. Who would have thought? But seriously, I could recommend it to everyone. If you're working on getting enlightened, get into BDSM. It's so much more fun than meditation, trust me. So I'm growing as a person. What I love also is that it makes my master grow too. He's challenged also a lot. My master was shocked when I told him that I would love to be slapped in my face. And I can imagine. He's a Buddhist. He doesn't want to kill flies in his house. He catches them and brings them outside. Not having an opinion on that. So and then I asked him to slap me in my face. It was it was going against everything that he believed in. But I challenged him for it. And he thought it was wrong to hit a woman ever. So now I asked it. And then at one point he decided that he was going to do that. And it was for him such a huge learning experience. And you know why? Because what he said is, I tend to think that I know what is right for people. And sometimes I'm giving somebody the thing that I think is necessary for them. And maybe what they asked for is not the right thing. And maybe also sometimes I am wrong. Now, this is a very valuable lesson. As you can imagine, he's a dom. He's supposed to know what is good for me. But what he learned from it is that listening to what I had to say in it, and what the clues that I gave him, the cues, that this was also giving him valuable information, and that it was worth listening to that as well. And that thinking that something is wrong is not always right in all situations. So he's learning too. One other thing that I love about BDSM is that it makes our relationship grow. First of all, I think playfulness in any relationship brings up so much joy and fun, but playing in a sexual way is also about passion and physical connection, which is also amazing. And then on top of that, we have the DS connection, that power exchange dynamic, that I'm telling my master that I trust him enough to make the decisions for me. And I told him that he could do that in any area of my life. He doesn't, not in any, but in more areas in my life than just my sex life. It's challenging me. Trust is a huge theme in my life. I never trusted anyone. And it made all my relationships fail because of that. Because I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust anyone else. Working on that gives me so much. And creating that trust in a relationship, it's bringing so much depth. And it's not just the trust that I have in him. He's trusting me too. If you've never been into this power exchange dynamic, I'm not sure if you can understand it. It's like somebody is holding your life in his hands and you trust them with that. That feeling, to me, this was incredible. That I was even able to do that. It's a very, very hard thing for a control freak to let go of that. That surrendering, it's amazing. There are people who say that submission is something that they are deep inside. I also believe that submission is a part of me. But for me, more than that, that is not the reason why I'm in this relationship. Maybe also part of it. But I think more than that, it's about how our relationship is built. Because I couldn't submit just to anyone. With my ex-husband, there was no way that I would be able to submit to him. In that sense, I wasn't submissive. So in that sense, it wasn't my being as a submissive. Because it didn't fit our relationship. And it would never have fitted. With my master, yes, this is how I am in my relationship with him. I know this is different from other people, and I don't want to get into discussions whether a submissive is something that is part of you or not. I think it depends on how you are in a relationship, and it depends on with whom you have a relationship, how your relationship is shaped. To us, this is the best way that our relationship works. That's why I'm in BDSM. So I hope this was valuable for you. If you want to know more about my journey into BDSM and how I got there and why I think it's so valuable, I wrote a whole book about it. It's called Sex, Truth and Freedom. You can buy it on Amazon. I will put the link below. It's Eat, Pray, Love combined with 50 Shades of Grey. Sounds like Eat, Pray, Love and 50 Shades of Grey. It's maybe a book that's more for women, but there are a lot of male readers and they also love the book. And this would look on your book table really nice, doesn't it? Anyway, have fun. Play with passion.